was the afternoon of November 3rd. Saturday, Cooper and I are all set up for the afternoon hunt. It's a little after 4 o'clock now, and we're on a piece that's new to me. We've hunted it one time. It's 52 acres, and it's down here in Van Buren County. And it butts up. It's on the east side of a really big section, and it butts up against nearly 1,000 acres of timber. So it's tiny, but it hunts well. I've got about 15 acres of standing corn, and we're hunting this oak tree line. It's got a bunch of scrapes, acorns. I've got like 5 different mature shooter bucks on this farm on camera. Not tons of daylight activity, but this is a time of the year where it don't necessarily matter. So we're in here just learning a little bit. I didn't have a spot I wanted to go to on the main farm, so we came in here, did a hanging hunt. I need to come in here with the pole saw, trim out this tree a little bit better, but I'm excited to see how the night goes. Got some real heavy trail right here and lots of scrapes, and hopefully we have some good activity. There's moisture in the air, east-southeast wind that's picking up, and it's supposed to rain towards the end of the night, so excited to see what happens. Right. No. Can you see him? No. Get in the buggy. Well, that happened pretty quick. Obviously, it's getting dark on us. We were just saying this, our second sit on this farm, and it's we're gonna get skunked again. Other than the bobcat, and then we saw 2 little fawns come out, and then I did a little grunting and a snort wheeze just to see if there was something down in the corn there, and this big mature buck came in, and he wasn't coming to the tree, but he went up in the corn, so I did another snort wheeze back behind us. He came flying down the hill here. A doe came out, there was a little buck, and obviously we had a little miscommunication, but I thought he was on him pretty good. I think we'll have to look back at the footage, but he gave me a 20-yard shot right here out of the tree, and it's a buck I got pictures of on the last card pull. He's got a really big split G2 on the right, big right side, kind of a weaker left side, but huge body. So a nice big mature buck here on November 3rd. It looked like I smoked him just right in the wheelhouse, and he ran right up the waterway back towards the buggy. So we're gonna get down here and take a look at the arrow. Arrow's stuck in the corn stalk. Looks pretty good. Some bright red blood on it. As you can see, it was low light. You know, it's overcast and whatnot, but felt good, looked good, sounded good. And he ran right up here, right up towards the buggy. So it's been about 30 minutes since we've packed up and got down. So I'm gonna just kind of ease back up to the buggy here, and we're gonna head back to the cabin and get the kids and the lights and come recover them. You guys are ready to go find it? So Daddy, hey Bryn, are you doing okay?
Stuck it in there?
You're so big.
You stuck it inside of the corn.
I know, it's stuck in the corn stalk. So we were up in that tree up there.
Okay.
And the buck came down
Right there.
out of the cornfield over there. And I shot him right here. Come see Bryn.
It's right here. What's the blood?
We'll have to go get on over here. But so this is the arrow I shot him with.
Oh gosh, that is a sharp end.
Yeah, and you see the blood on the arrow?
Oh, yes.
And so...
You killed that thing. You literally killed it.
Yeah.
You killed that.
You see Bryn? So let's go. You ready to go find him?
Yeah.
Here, let's go find him. You're starting to smell what?
Deer blood.
You smell kind of that deer smell?
Blood. Right here, blood. I can smell we're getting closer. There's blood right over here.
Look right here.
Blood. Blood. Blood.
Yeah? What's right there?
Blood.
What's right there?
Blood. There he is!
There he is! Good job, girl! Can I get a high five?
Is he bigger than mine? He looks bigger than mine.
I don't think so.
Look at that big air bubble.
Yeah, you see where you shoot him and how all the air bubbles come out of there? Good brow tines, huh? As you can tell, the girls did a great job tracking him up. They're getting pretty good at following the blood trail. And even Isabel's getting pretty good at what a rutting buck smells like. She said you could smell them before we found them. That's pretty cool to see. These blood trails can be kind of difficult to follow in the grass, and they're getting really good at that. So it's exciting as a dad to see that. Obviously, super mature buck. Got pictures of him recently and decided I was gonna shoot him if I got the opportunity. He was daylight active over here a few days in the last 2 weeks and gave us a nice opportunity, made it easy for us. So we're gonna get him loaded up here and back to the cabin, and then we'll get him out tomorrow in the daylight and give you guys a better look at him. What do you girls think? As you can see, it's the next day. Just cut the buck out. Rain finally stopped. Wanted to give you guys a better look at him and get some nice photos. Big, mature buck and a memorable hunt for us on this new little farm I have. So I want to talk a little bit about our hang and hunt strategy. You know, this farm being new to me, I don't have any sets hung up on it yet. Just had a real crazy summer, as those of you who followed along know. So we had to get in here and get in the tree for that appropriate wind. The cameras told me there's lots of activity on that fence line, and it's a bunch of shingle oaks. Shingle oaks are great to get in. You know, the leaves brown, but they don't really fall off. The biggest thing is having your shooting lanes. I actually have the saw in the buggy here. While we're down here, we're gonna go ahead and cut some shooting lanes for next time. But that was clearly one of the challenges of this hunt. We were up in the tree. We felt really protected. You know, that the deer weren't gonna see us, but boy, it makes it difficult to film. But it's set up really, really well. You know, they have lots of acorns under there, and they're great scrape trees. So those of you who had followed Jared and I over the years, obviously we love to hang and hunt. We get these properties and we don't do a lot of setting the stands until we've hunted a farm for a couple years, and the strategy worked again tonight. I'm definitely a believer in, you know, your first couple hunts on the farm are often your best opportunities to get big bucks down. And got a couple more tags in my pocket and ready to keep after them.
Today is September 14th. We're down on the farm doing some last minute projects, getting ready for the season. You know, we're on a spot now. I'm chasing a deer that I call Pop. He's a mainframe 9-point, beautiful, gorgeous 2s and 3s. This is his core. It's a nice little pinch we're in. And today I'm hanging another stand for him. I encountered this deer November 18th last year on the opposite hillside. He is MIA as far as the cameras go right now, which is a little nervous. I have it at one side of his sheds, just found just across the draw here. But you know, this farm, I've been on it, this is my 3rd year. The previous 2 years has been in soybeans, and now we're in standing corn all around us. So I'm kind of hoping that he's moved off this farm into the more fertile beans, the more palatable beans at this time. We're gonna do some camera surveys. We set a mock scrape up. He's been there last year. It's a perennial scrape, and try to locate him. I feel he's going to come back in once we're mid-September. They're establishing that fall range, and we're going to try to pick him up.
Alright, good afternoon, guys. It's the afternoon of November the 1st. We're sitting over some autumn quick plot with corn on the backside, some cut corn. We're in after a deer I call Pop. He's a deer I know. He's 6 or 7 years old, really well. A lot of history with him. And we're close to his bedroom. I would say 300 or 400 yards from where he was seen last year and where I got lots of pictures of him. We're hoping to catch up with him. It's November the 1st, and you can't help but be excited.
We just laid eyes on our target buck, the buck we call Pop. He came out behind a doe on the edge of the plot across the ravine from us, and actually bred her. Was staying close with her. She went back into cover. He followed her. The second time I've ever seen him. So, my wheels are spinning and with excitement, but just again to try to get the deal done and to be cautious and to make the right move. The next one will be deadly for him.
Hi guys, lights fading. Great encounter, nerve-wracking. He did what we wanted him to do, what we thought he would do. So, close, exciting. We'll chase him tomorrow.
To say that I'm fired up is an understatement. We're going back to the same location we were at last night. We got down, pulled cards, and this deer I call Pop had been there early that morning in that plot. I've been searching for that deer all summer. He just showed back up. I'm going back to where I knew him last year. I was hoping he would show back up, and he did. True to form during the rut. I think he's bedding really close. We got some rain this morning. It's going to help cover our noise, cover our scent going in, and we're going to set up for a south wind and hope to catch him coming back to bed. We're going in early this morning, black dark, to try to get set up before things get going, get him before he comes back to the bed. It's a risk. I'm excited. It's one of those days that it's a chess match, and here we are, and we're going to see how it unfolds. As you can imagine, I'm still pretty shook up after the shot. I looked at the footage, and last minute before I turned him, before I stopped him, he turned and quartered to me, which I saw. In my mind, a lot of things going on, and that's why I pulled that shot forward.
the last second did a quarter turn to me, and I know in my mind that's why I pulled that shot to the forward and rushed it. So we got good footage of him running away. The rain's coming in, which is kind of obviously a negative factor, but we got good penetration. 10 or 12 inches of that arrow went into him. We'll go back to the house and put it on a bigger monitor and take a look at it and see if we can figure more details out about the shot and assess the situation and make the best plan going forward. This is where we saw him go down in this draw. He stopped for a few seconds. This had to be where he stopped. There's a pretty good pile of blood here. Fingers crossed. Still very anxious, and again, we respect these animals so much and want lethal kills, and we're gonna do everything we can to recover this deer. He's not moving. Thank you, Lord. I don't know where to start. Just an incredible specimen of an animal. What makes it more special was just the history with this deer. Lots of trail cam pics, lots of sheds. We saw him 2 days ago at 10:30 in the morning with that doe. Same evening with that doe. We played a little chess match back and forth in stands, and then we're hoping at 72 hours he'd drop that doe. And luckily for us, he did. He came in by himself on a mission, like I said, kind of beelined, kind of a half trot. And luckily for me, the tools here, the Hoyt bow and the broadhead did its job. Humbled. Thanks for my cameraman, my team that supports me. And again, just my family, and thank God above. Back at the shop, we got the hunt area map out. I thought it'd be interesting to kind of show you what our access was, what we thought this deer was doing as far as going back to bed or bedding tight close to that food plot, as well as our stand sites and where our final encounter with him was. Okay, so we were parking here, and this is all in corn. So our access was through this corn. We were popping in the backside, coming across our cut corn into a stand site right here. This is a food plot here. It's an autumn quick plot mixed with some cereal grains, and we have a camera here. Our first sighting was him at 10 o'clock in daylight by himself on Thursday morning. We pulled that card that evening after sitting here not seeing him. We moved into this bottom the following morning with a south wind, and our first encounter with him was across this deep draw with that doe that he was locked up with. He actually bred her right here. He went back into bedding, we assumed, into this draw. This is a big draw, it's a deep draw, and so at midday, we snuck down, hugged the east side of this plot, and used geography to kind of hide our sight path. And we climbed back up into this set and waited for the afternoon. So the afternoon of Friday, November the 2nd, he came in with that doe, popped over this ridge, and we got that encounter with him on camera with that doe pushing off those other smaller does right here. And again, he went back that way with her, and again, we're assuming he's bedding in this small little draw here,
and so which helped our access to stay away from that draw. This morning we came in, had a north wind, came in through the corn, popped in, got set up. He came around this corner, through this plot, and we shot him at about 40 yards right here. He went down to the draw and expired right across this draw. I found his shed right there last year. So that's kind of a quick summary of what we went through this weekend to ultimately lay down a true giant. And like I said, this is a tight little core, and as these deer get to be that 6 or 7 year old range, they'll just shrink their core. Fun to look at the maps. It's always educational. I enjoy looking at maps and kind of get a feel for what we were going through, what our thought process was, and our strategy into tagging this remarkable deer.
I'm down to about the last half hour to 40 minutes of my hunt this evening. It's been action-packed. I'm still hunting this buck that I call the Big 7. You can keep up with the entire adventure on the Midwest Whitetail Daily channel on YouTube or on Winky's video blog on the MidwestWhitetail.com website. Jared's got one. Owen's got one. I'm going to get this wrapped up real quick so you can see this nice buck that just walked in. But I appreciate you joining us this week. We've got a lot more action next week. We've had a lot of good hunts, so they're starting to stack up. So I know that we've already got an action-packed episode for next week. So please come back and check that out. I appreciate you joining me. We'll see you right back here again next week for the next episode of Midwest Whitetail. And remember to always dream big.